This gigantic cave system is filled with scary creatures and evil things alike. Scary stuff. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Welcome guys to episode 933 of Minecraft, and I'm using the Cave Gen mod. Well, hello there, I am in the Rock Zone. This mod, the Cave Gen mod, actually implements 4 zones, or in this mod they're called zones, but initially they're just biomes. They're cave biomes, and this is all underground, but you can see the stars because this cave is gigantic and Minecraft tends to do that. Well, let's go switch it over to daytime so we can get a little bit of light coming through, because there has a little bit of light. You may be saying, why is there light coming through? Of course you can see those sort of little bugs over there, but there are actual little holes and like little wells that you can actually go, and if I punch up, all the way up, I will find myself in the overworld. And punch, there we go. Now the overworld has had a little bit of a problem. For example, North Korea decided to bomb the entire world, and this is how the world looks like. It's filled with trees, with stumps of trees and mushroom grass. Really nothing appetizing. All the action is happening downstairs in the caves. Now there is practically a cave everywhere. There are massive cave structures and everything that you can find. Of course there are some mobs that will loiter and prevail in the overworld, but what you need to do is go find yourself a pickaxe and go mine away down to the depths of the world until you find a cave, until you drop down into a cave such as this one. Now you can see that we have all sorts of crazy stuff and all sorts of crazy, scary, dangerous mobs. For example, there is a high rate of these mobs to be increasingly difficult. Here we have a normal skeleton, but over here we have a skeleton with a golden helmet, and here we have a fully pimped out zombie, might I add, and here we have some different man-made structures by these sort of villagers. Now the villagers, what is that? Is that? No, that's an Enderman. I've actually made the fog and my render distance a little bit lower to give that a nice little spooky effect. And you may be wondering, what are these? Well, these are actually tree trunks, or tree roots, coming from once what was a large or massive, ginormous tree. And here we have a villager. Hopefully there's one inside. Nope. Okay, you can definitely tell that there's villagers in there with these two obnoxious fools. Alright, I just want to be friends. Alright, let's go through the top way and see what they have in store for us. Now, you can have loot. You can find loot with this villager. They are quite scarce, and there are actual villagers. Now, let's get into that a little bit later on, how to find villagers, because there are actually some commands on how to find that. So, like I said, there are 4 zones. This is just one zone, the rock zone. There's also a jungle zone, and an ice, a snow zone, and then there's a final one, which is called the tectonic zone, which is full of lava and obsidian. And I've only really explored to depth the stone zone, so let's go see if we can find a jungle zone of such. And here we've actually transitioned into the jungle zone. Very nice transition. You can see the nice grass. It looks very nice. What I'll do here is sweet, we've got torches, so we'll just place down a torch and you can see that nice green grass. It'll be very nice if it's illuminated by some torches. And here we have some stalagmites. Now stalagmites actually stick down to the ground, and we have some stalactites over there which hold on tight into the ceiling, and they're basically like dead bush. They're really pointless and really don't add in too much into the game as of yet, unless they might be able to change. Now the way you can tell you're in a jungle zone is by the vines and also the green grass growing. Now there are plenty full of roots in the jungle zone. So here we have very nice waterfalls as well. Here we go. We have a waterfall over here. Very nice, very tranquilical, lovely place to sit back, relax, and watch your Minecraft days go on. Now this was originally meant to be included into Minecraft, but unfortunately by the sheer size of Minecraft, it still hasn't been implemented. I remember back in alpha everyone was talking about gigantic cave zones, and here we have managed to scramble our way over to the snow zone. Now the snow zone is filled with snow and ice and offers a large amount of large dungeons to be found. Now I actually haven't found a single dungeon as of yet, but hopefully we might find some dungeons which have spawners in them, and they offer you some loot. And is that ice? Is that ice down there? I thought we were going to in water, but all right, let's continue on. We're still in the snow biome, or snow snow zone. Here we have a nice snow ravine. Hopefully it's not too dark. I'm placing torches along the way just to get my bearings. And here we have the roots of a tree, and you can also find, you can definitely live here. This is a world on its own. You can't actually find this in the normal world. You need to, for example, if you want to go to larger biomes or anything like that, you need to actually specify that you want the cave generation to happen. Otherwise, you'll have your plain Minecraft. So here we go. I think we're back into the stone. All right, here we go. Fine. We'll knock down this. And see if there's a villager. Nope, the villager escaped. So you can have various kinds of loot. Maybe the zombies already gotten to this. Is that a? Oh, no way. Look at that. Well then. Alright, there once was a villager there, but he's got gobbled up by a zombie. Quite scary indeed. I think we're going back into the snow world. Now, there's one world we need to still find. It is the Tectonic Zone, which is filled with lava waterfalls and obsidian grounding, like, for example, the snow. And here we have a village, or what once was a village. Now, what I can do here is, if I scroll down in the forum thread, there is some commands that you can type in for your actual, to actually find some delicious villages. So what we need to do here is, oh god, what happened here? What I'll need to do is type in cw.villageinfo. Hopefully I spelled that all correctly. And number of villages is 0. Now, it does say villages are very rare, and I've been exploring for quite some time now, and I haven't come across a village which is rather rare for the villages. Well, it's not rare; it's meant to be rare. So we're meant to not find one. Here's what the nice little not water spout, but sort of opening to the overworld looks like. Here's a nice little sort of drop down of what can happen. Is you just go up here. Climb up here and you'll be into the overworld filled with delicious tree logs and nothing really interesting. Now, there is a small chance of you to find some chests or some interesting items into these ruins, but there's really nothing too special to be found here. Now, one thing I do want to find is a tectonic zone and also a dungeon. Here might be something interesting. Here we go. We have found ourselves a dungeon. I actually saw that out of the corner of my eye before, but I totally forgot about going here. Now you can see that it spawns various items or various mobs in order to get a prize, which I have no idea where the prize is, although it seems to be like some sort of bridge. Is that a chest? Oh, I thought that was a chest. Is that a chest? That is a chest. Look at this. Quite hard to get up to, and here you can see, ooh, we have an end portal frame, so you can actually go travel to the end, which is kind of cool. And I'm guessing that was a sort of a small dungeon. Now, a larger dungeon offers more sort of harder to earn loot, and also a harder challenge of more spawners. For example, there are 4 spawners in this picture that I'm looking at. So here is a frozen stalagmite. If I go place down a torch, you can see this is a frozen stalagmite or mite. No, it's stalactite because they're holding on tight. There we go. That's what I learned in school back in the days. If whoever goes to school in Sydney would know that. I'm sure that most schools would go to Jenolan Caves. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one of those dungeons. Maybe you can find some proper loot here. Is there some loot here, officer? You're just spawning a lot of those icky stuff. I don't like that. Icky, sticky, wicky. Alright, let's go try and find a village. I still haven't found a village. This is rather disheartening. Well, what I have here is an abandoned village. This once was a prosperous village, but now has been diminished by zombies, creepers, and spiders, skeletons, and alike, which is rather quite sad. So now we have to did that a squid just fall down all the way from there? There's one crazy squid. Enjoy your death, sirree. Let's continue on. Alright, so we're still looking for search of the tectonic zone, but we still haven't found it. We're in search of the tectonic zone. Is that? No. Ooh, this is sort of like a larger ruin. But let's continue on. Alright, I found diamonds in this cave. We can finally rejoice. We found the tectonic zone, and there is no lava in sight, although there is a lot of obsidian. There we go. Take the first corner and we see lava. Now, there should be lava waterfalls everywhere and scary amounts of obsidian and lava. We also have a wide variety of diamonds. Now this is actually found quite low. You have to be digging for quite some time down and trying to avoid, and ooh, finally we found a dungeon as well. So here's a standard dungeon that you'd normally find in vanilla Minecraft, although with a few better loots. As you can see, we've got the end portal over there. And let's go in search for some more. We found a slime. Where, no, that's not a slime, that's a creeper. Alright, explode. What are you gonna do? Oh, just gonna destroy my glowstone. No obsidian, huh? You ain't so scary now, creeper. Alright, it's really dark in here. I doubt that you guys can see anything. Although we have a large amount of lava, and let's go look down here. Lava. Okay, let's go swim in lava. So this pretty much covers the entire Gen Cave or Cave Gen mod, and as I'm sinking down right down to the bottom, I don't want to sink down right down to the bottom, that's dangerous. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. This mod has been really awesome. I'd love to see new additions to this mod. I really love gigantic caves in Minecraft. It's really awesome. A nice little mix up into your daily Minecraft routine, just mixing it up by playing in a cave. So thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.